He said, they're listening to us right now. I said, dude, that's the radio. He said, no, you got to listen beyond the radio. He whips the car over, and we're all in the back looking for stuff. I'm like, Paul, man, I said, you got to chill, dog. You got to chill. And to this day, there's still something a little bit upstairs with that guy that ain't right. To this day, he's not the same guy that he was before 18 and after 18. Never the same guy, dude. Never the same guy. But I'm a firm believer that medicines are fine for some stuff, but this stuff that they give you for mental illness and stuff, and even like the Parkinson, you know, you talked about your buddy the other day.
Mm-hmm. What's up, TJ? About to get after it. We're about to get after it, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get my mask. Keep on knocking, but you can't come in. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to we're gonna start stripping the side right here. We're gonna start stripping this quarter right here. We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna use the wire wheel on this one and see what this one does. Yesterday we used this Scotch-Brite wheel. There's still a lot of meat left on the bone on that one. That's the difference. This one here is 120 grit. I don't know what this one is. It don't have no numbers on it. The part number is 21971. Passenger side got it stripped yesterday. going to, here's the piece. Gonna put it in there like that. That's gonna get rid of a bunch of that and fix this wheel arch. So that's that piece there. Gonna get that put in. Like I said, I got my lights. Made me a light. What's up, Square Body? What's up, TJ? What's up, Phil? So, like I said, I'm gonna use the wire wheel this time. We're gonna see what the wire wheel does. We're gonna see what the wire wheel does this time. Like I said, we're gonna use the wire wheel. What's up, Elko? We're gonna use the wire wheel on this one, just to see what it does. You can see this color got a little bit of pearl, a little bit of flake in it. So let's get up after it. I'll catch up on the comments. I'll catch up on the comments here in a second. So let me move this. I need to know if that's a good spot. Got a good spot right there. Can you see that good? Somebody holler at me. Holler. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Is that good? We good? Gotta get a little bit of go-go juice. Gotta get some power. Let me live with you. Let me live with you, boys and girls. I don't know about the weather where you boys and girls is at today, but here in the Candor in North Carolina, it's 57 degrees in here. Towards the front of the car, Tat. That TJ? Is that where you want it? Or do you want it like this? Is that better? That good? Woo, we got that purple haze going on. Oh, purple smash. I thought it was purple haze. We're gonna do this right here, we're gonna try this. That son of a gun's eating, boy. Let me show you. Come on now, let me live with you. Woo, woo. Yes, sir. That son of a gun right there is eating. We might have a new tool, yeah. Yes, sir. All right, let's try it. All right, let's get you back where you was at. Yeah, TJ. Woo! That thing is killing my phone. Look at there, boys and girls. That son of a gun's eating like nobody's business. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna move the camera on the other side, cause the fan is blowing the dust right into my phone. So hit that subscribe button, boys and girls. I appreciate you. Let me turn this thing around. So y'all gonna have to let me know. Let me turn it back around. Woo! About knocked it over. How about that right there? Is that a better angle? Is that good right there, boys and girls? Is that good? Let me know before I start. Is that good? I had to move the camera on this end because the fan's blowing all the filler dust in my phone. We good? All right. All right. right, let's talk about it for just a second. Let's talk about it. Let me leave with you. All right, look here. That's 9. So that's about 12 inches. So from right there, that's about a 12 inch. It's about 12 inches on the end of that quarter. That right there has gnawed the ever-living fire out of that thing. So far, been doing this about 18 minutes, and that's not really that bad. I didn't time the other one last time, but all these dark spots are dense. Man, this thing's... So, but I got a tool ordered today. Actually, Mike from Cornfield Customs is actually sending me his, I think it's a 9-inch shrinker and stretcher wheel for a grinder, a 10-inch grinder. And what it is, it's a wheel that he has designed that shrinks and stretches the metal at the same time. And if I'm going to do a video on it, but if you want, in the meantime, if you want to look it up, it's called a metal shrinking stretching disc. And basically, once I get all the paint off of this thing and it's nothing but metal, you spray the solution on there and you just go back and forth with this wheel. And this wheel actually shrinks and stretches the metal and actually puts it back where it needs to go. So all these low spots and high spots, it forms it back to where it's supposed to go. And then you got to hammer and dolly it in between it, and you just keep doing it. So I talked to Mike from Cornfield Customs this morning. He said he's going to get me one mailed out today, so it'll probably be in about 3 days. So probably be here towards the weekend, or Monday's the holiday, so it'll probably be here one day next week, and then we'll get on that. But I'm using the Eastwood contour tool. That's what I'm using. Yesterday we used this wheel right here on the passenger side, and this wheel actually has done a bunch of. It's done the hood of a G body and the deck lid, the hood of an 86 square body, and the roof of a square body, and a little bit of miscellaneous stuff here and there. So the wheel's still good shape. This is how big the wheel actually is compared. So here it is, here's a wheel brand new. Here's a wheel that's been used. This is 120 grit. So I was asked yesterday in the comments to try the wire wheel, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to run the wire wheel. We're going to run this episode for about 100 minutes, about 60 minutes, 100 minutes, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back in a couple hours, and then we'll do part 2, because most people's not going to watch a whole video that long. So anything past 100 minutes, people usually just scroll through and just keep going. So less talking, more working. Let me get back to it. Let me put my PPE on, and then we're going to get after it. So if you got any questions, drop it down in the comments. I'll get back to them and ask them in a minute, or answer them in a minute. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, boys and girls. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up and drop a comment. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. All right, boys and girls, later. That is the wire wheel. We're at 38 minutes. And let me turn this camera around. So that is the wire wheel. And the wire wheel done really, really, really good. Especially on the filler, the body work. You guys call it Bondo, I call it filler. So the filler, it really made light work of the filler. Yesterday, we used this wheel, this Scotch-Brite wheel, to do the passenger side. So if you missed that video, go back and watch it. It's part 1 and part 2 from yesterday. So there'll be 2 parts today. This is part 3 using the wire wheel. So that is a wire wheel. So this right here, this wheel here actually did. This wheel here actually did the hood on an 84 Cutlass. It done the deck lid on an 84 Cutlass. It done the hood on a 86 square body. It done the roof of an 86 square body, and a lot of other little mystery stuff, little miscellaneous parts and stuff like that. This is how big the wheel is when it actually, this is how big, that's how big they are. I don't know what the grit of this one is. The part number on this one is 21971 on this one, right? This one right here is 120 grit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the wire wheel off, and we're gonna put this one on and see what this one does on cleaning up this right here. So the only problem that I see with the wire wheel is this is lacquer paint, so it's gummy. So the wire wheel is just spinning it, and I mean, it's taking it off, but it's actually also heating it up. So it's actually making it gummy. So if you don't know the difference between thermoplastic and thermoset, I got a video on that. So if you'll Google JG Innovation Garage LLC thermoset versus thermoplastic, it will tell you the difference between the two. So the wire wheel will get this off. It just looks like it's gonna take a little bit because it's gummy, right? All this, it came off really, really good. So for filler work and probably non-lacquer paint, it would probably take it off a whole lot faster. But the wire wheel is just gumming this up. I mean, it ain't gummy to the touch, but it's gummy when the wheel goes on it. And it's just like, it's not really cutting it off, it's just smearing it off. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna change the wheel out. I'm gonna change the wheel out to this 120 grit, and we're gonna see how it takes what paint's left over off. All right, so y'all hang tight, and we're gonna change that boy out right quick. Yeah, we're gonna change it out. And right here on the side, now Harbor Freight has this same tool, and this tool at Harbor Freight with a member club is like $90. This one actually came from Eastwood. So let's change this wheel out, and then we're gonna go from there. The threads on this thing are backwards, so it's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's lefty-loosey is backwards. So it's lefty-tighty, righty-loosey. So the threads are backwards. So make sure when you take the drum off, you don't lose your key. So that's it. The part number on this one is 21974 on this one. So we're gonna put this one on and see what this one does, all right? You gotta make sure you put it on the right way. See, it says rotation, so the sticker always goes out, okay? Most of the time. All right, so we got this wheel on here, and we're gonna try and see if it gets this gummy paint off. All right, and then we're gonna finish this video up and see what we got going on. All right, boys and girls. All right. Actually, Gary, I reached out to my friend Mike at Cornfield Customs. So he's going to send me a shrinking and stretching wheel that actually shrinks and stretches the panel to get the low spots and the high spots out. And he made a shrinking wheel that goes on a grinder, like a DeWalt polisher or buffer, and when you run it over the panel, it actually shrinks and stretches it at the same time, and then you can hammer and dolly it where you can get the low spots out. Actually, so far so good. This quarter looks a whole lot better than that one, but we're only a quarter away. So been on here for 60 minutes, so I'm going to come back at 2 o'clock. Do the next one at 2 o'clock, and we're going to use this wheel right here. And this wheel right here is the Harbor Freight wheel, and this one says it's a 40 grit stripping drum. And this is the one we're going to use when we come back. So I'm gonna come back at 2 o'clock. So hit the notification bell. We'll come back at 2, and we're going to use this wheel at 2 o'clock, and we're going to do the rest of it because at 12 o'clock we're going to go ahead in an hour. At 12 o'clock we're going to go ahead and get the plastic hung and get everything. And actually, if Nathan is still here, I'm actually use his suggestion. Going to actually take and nail the plastic to a 1x4 and then roll the 1x4 in the plastic, and then we're going to take the plastic wrapped around the 1x4 and put it on the laminated beam, and then screw it in with deck screws and hold it. So I'm not going to video that, but you'll see the aftermath of that. So at 2 o'clock, hit your notification bell. And like I said, I'm going to come back at 2 o'clock, and we're going to test this wheel out right here. This is the Hercules wheel from Harbor Freight. Part number is 70785, and we're going to use this barrel. It's like a hard plastic. We're going to use this barrel to strip the rest of it and see how this one goes. We stripped this one. We started this one with this wire wheel. So this is the contour wheel that came with the kit from Eastwood. So we used this one first, and then we followed it up with the 120 grit roll lock, like a Scotch-Brite. And yeah, this is too slick to do any body work and stuff on. So this thing will have to be on back over with like 120 grit or 80 grit to do the epoxy. But first we got to get all the dents and dings out of it. This is the wheel that I used yesterday. This is the wheel that we used yesterday. And actually this wheel right here, this wheel actually done the deck lid, the hoods on the G-body, and the hood and the roof on the square body. Also, it done a bunch of miscellaneous pieces. It's done a lot. It's done a lot of pieces like that. So, and it's done the table. So this one here has lasted a pretty good while. Also, it has, they have smaller wheels too as well. They have smaller wheels, like these little narrow ones if you have to get into little tight crevices, and it has the spacers so you can space it. So you just got a smaller wheel. I haven't used those yet, but that's the ones we're going to use. The other one we're going to use at 2 o'clock. So hit your notification bell, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. So here's the rules on Facebook. Here's the rules on YouTube. If you hit the like button, if you hit the subscribe button and you don't like or comment on a post, in 24 hours, YouTube thinks you're a bot and the algorithm will purge you out of the system because they think you're a bot. So that's on any channel, So if you hit the subscribe button on this channel, I greatly appreciate it. We're almost to 6,000 subscribers, man. We're like 70 away from 6,000 subscribers. It's crazy. Yesterday's video, man, y'all did so good yesterday. Y'all did so good yesterday. Man, the video yesterday hit 100,000 views yesterday in an hour, like an hour and 30 minutes. It was 100,000 views. It's crazy, and I appreciate it. Yeah, they got the smaller ones too. Yeah, like the smaller wheels. Yeah, TJ, they got the smaller wheels, and the smaller wheels. I haven't used them yet, but basically, you put the spacer like that, and then the wheels like this. I guess you could offset it if you wanted to. I don't see why you couldn't. Well, I probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't run true. It'd probably wobble. So you probably want to put it in the center, like that, and then you can get into little tight, narrow spots. But I haven't used that one. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I really do, man. Been on here for 65 minutes. Yeah, so, yeah. Like I said, last night I checked it. Actually, there's some people that actually sent me messages and said, hey, man, actually Square Body and some other guys, Tulu, Cars in the Cut, Carolina Big, the ones that have my cell phone number, they texted me last night and said, man, you're almost at 6,000, dude. Congratulations. I appreciate every single one of you. Remember I said, boys and girls, hit the notification bell, hit the notification bell, hit the notification bell for 2 o'clock, and we're going to make a post, 2 o'clock live, Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do the other wheel, and I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Remember I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch or sweeping off anybody else's. Put God first, let loose and drag. Peace, and chicken grease, I'm out.